Hey guys, Chef Ken here. How are you today? Today we're going to travel to Vietnam and we're going to introduce you to one of their famous submarines heroes. It's called Banh Mi, Banhmi. They're very famous. There's a lot of French influence in this sandwich. One is that the bread they're going to be using is a baguette, and two, they use a little pate, which are very famous from the French influence when they occupied Vietnam. What do we have here in America? We have Subway, we have Jersey Mike's, we have Firehouse, we have Jimmy John's, and basically it's all the same cold cuts, the same type of dressing, but just given a fancy name, okay? And so I want to introduce you to a new flavor. So if you have a chance, go to your local Vietnamese restaurant. They may have it for lunch, you never know, I don't know if they do, but give it a shot, all right? But if you can see it with me, Chef Who Can, you can too. You'll be able to make it at home. Okay? So let me show you. All right, here. So we're going to start off with the bread. French Baguette. Okay? That's one of the essence of the whole sub. Crispy on the outside, nice and soft on the inside. Right? Then we're going to add a pork roll. It's very inherent of Vietnam. Then we're going to add a little pate. We're going to add a little bit of roast pork. We're going to add some English cucumber. Then we're going to add a pickled dsikon, which is the white, and carrots. And that's made in advance with shredded dsikon and shredded carrots with white vinegar. I use stevia monk fruit because I'm going to be a little more careful on the sugar, and basically water. And I put it in a container and basically let it sit there in the refrigerator, and over time, maybe a couple of days, it's going to pickle. All right, and that's what you want. Then we'll top it off with a little fresh cilantro. Obviously, I know a lot of people don't like cilantro. It gives them that feeling that it's not very good, and you don't need to use that, right? You can use fresh parsley if you want. And we have a Sriracha Aoili, made with sriracha sauce and chosen mayo, okay? And basically put that all together, and that's it. That's all you have to do. The roast pork is pre-made. I have a special sauce we can use. You just have to buy a pork shoulder, cut up the pork shoulder into strips, add the marinade, add some coloring, add some additional honey or sugar, let it marinate in a Ziploc bag for a couple of days, then put it in a toaster oven and let it cook, low simmer, low roast. But everything else you can buy online, all right? Now I use a website because I'm in Maryland and the Asian stores aren't right next door. You have to travel a ways, but we have a website that's nationwide called Saywe, SAYWEEE.com, and sort of like the Asian e-commerce of Amazon. And you could order practically any item that you want on that website, and they'll deliver with a certain minimum. You can get it delivered to your door, and you don't have to worry about traveling all this way. Obviously, we have sriracha to make the Sriracha Aoili. Okay, so basically, we're going to cut up, and just watch me, and I'll show you exactly how it's all done. Here's French bread. So basically, we're going to just cut a piece, and we'll cut it on this big, right? Cut it in half. Now this is pretty fresh. I got it today. I usually want to use fresh for this sandwich. See, it's nice and soft, nice and cushiony, pillowy. All right, now we'll just spread the aioli on both sides. You want to give it a little moisture and a lot of flavor. Spread it back and forth, okay? You don't have to use sriracha if you don't like it spicy, but a little spice never hurt anybody, okay? And it just brings out the flavor. So we got the bread It's all coated, okay? Now we'll line it with some goodies. We'll add some roast pork. And I cut them in strips. So every bite you get a nice piece. Okay. Then we'll add the pork roll, Vietnamese pork roll. So this is different than regular cold cuts. And it's so much tastier. Then we'll add English cucumber. Now we'll add the pickled dsikon carrots. You can add more or less if you want. It all depends on your taste. But you have the tangy flavor of the dsikon carrots along with the mellow flavor of cucumbers, along with the nice meaty flavor of the pork roll, as well as the roast pork. And then we'll add some fresh cilantro. You don't have to use all the ends if you don't want, just to make it look nice. And that's it. That's all it is. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Easy. Just putting it together. This is your banh mi, homemade. I didn't skimp on any of the ingredients, okay? And then basically we'll cut it. Obviously, I'll give it to my neighbor. He'll enjoy it very much. And that's it. 1, 2, 3. Quick and easy, okay? Now, during this time, summer, oh, and I forgot to add the pate. So we'll take a little bit of pate, and we'll add it to the bread. If you don't like pate, you don't have to include it, but this is just giving it the French experience. The pate is here. I added it. And that's it. So, in this time that I'm retired and I've been trying to keep busy, I've been writing my first cookbook. And the cookbook is the You Can Do It Asian Cookbook by Chef Wu Can. You can find this on Amazon, right? Keyword would be Chef Wu Can or the You Can Do It Asian Cookbook. And it's $21.95 on Amazon Prime Books. I wrote a kid's book from the ages of 12 to 15, Ramen Warriors, the Doggy Rescuers. And basically, it's a kid's book. It lets you know how kids can work in the right direction by helping saving dogs, abandoned dogs, strangled, dogs that are stray dogs around the country. They have these magical powers by eating Chef Wu, Master Wu's magic ramen noodles that gives them these unbelievable powers. And it works like whatever you think you'll be able to do. So if you want to use x-ray eyes, you get x-ray eyes. If you want to use raise with your fingers, you just say it and you'll get it. And if you want to transport, you just say you want to transport here and there. And all this is based on the ramen noodles that Chef Wu has made. And they learn discipline with Kung Fu and the art of martial arts. So they're disciplined and focused. And they basically understand that, dogs are a very important part of our lives, okay? And so where they may not have been doing anything in the suburbs as kids, suburban kids, now they are learning a little bit about life, a little bit about humanity, a little bit about kindness, and a little bit about discipline and focus, right? So that book is good for kids from 12 to 15 years old. It's a very inexpensive book. It's like, I think it's $4.95 on Amazon Prime. or you can get it on Kindle, right? If you have a Kindle, or if they have a Kindle. So I encourage you to get those 2 books. And they're very, very interesting. The cookbook has 25 recipes, very simple recipes. My recipes, I didn't copy it from anybody else. And basically, my cookbook answers the why. Did you ever go to look at cookbooks? They never explain why you have to get this, why you have to get that, why the time is required for this. I try to explain that, all right? So it fills in the void of why, all right? So consider it. The holidays are coming up. It makes a great gift. And I'm writing another book. It's a story cookbook. It involves my daughter as she was growing up, my relationship with her, evolving around food that Daddy made in the kitchen that she loved. It was her favorite dishes. And it just tells you a story about the things that we did that came up to making these dishes. And I'm sharing all these different recipes so she can pass it down to her kids when she gets older, right? I mean, she's the one that approached me to develop a cookbook so she can let her children know that Grandpa is a good cook. All right. So stay tuned. My next video will be coming up. I don't know exactly what I'm going to have, but it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be simple. I'm back. This is the long video. It's not a short video of just taking pictures. This is giving you a step-by-step explanation of what I'm doing, okay? So thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. Keep on clicking the subscribe button, and I look forward to working with you and showing you new recipes coming up, okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.